Hello, Mr. Riggs here, and today I've got a grabber from Harbor Freight, and as you can see, one of these things fell off. I don't know what you'd call these little buttons or grabbers on the end, but I've had an idea to turn one of these or a pair of these out of wood for a while now, and since this just broke and I lost it somewhere and I can't find it for the life of me, I'm going to turn these out of wood and see how they do. Obviously it's not going to be as, I thought this was squishier, but it's actually kind of a hard plastic. It doesn't squish as much as I thought, so I don't think it's going to be too bad making it out of wood, but we'll see. I think I might turn a few of them because we've got a couple of these around the house and the farm and in the vehicles, and they work really well. The only problem is that screw will eventually work its way loose, and this one's already a little loose and it'll fall out, but we'll see if we can remedy that today with some wood turning. I had to go searching for a blank to use, and I just wanted to show you how it was cut. I just resawed it in half, and I drew two small circles on there with the other end, the piece that's still on the grabber over there, and just cut out around them. So that'll be our turning blanks. So I've drilled a hole in this little blank, very shallow hole, and I'm going to hold it with my screw chuck, and it should do just fine. There we are. Five-eighths bowl gouge. And I've got some calipers set for this circle in here. Although, how I'm going to cut that like a little mortise, I know. Still just a tiny flat spot right there. And I'll turn up the speed. I'm probably close to 1600. I think yeah, I'm going to use a parting tool. You might have seen other people use a parting tool to make a mortise in the bottom of a bowl like this, only a lot larger. I do not make mortises like that, but this is my first time doing that. There we go. I just use the scraper to smooth it out. It feels good. I guess I'm just going to have to part it off. I could turn it around and turn that material off, but I can just flip it around and grab it by that little tenon I made, which is this ring, but that's where that metal piece goes to grab onto it. Well, you could do it either way, but I think I'm going to part it off. Had a feeling I'd drop it. Yeah, that worked out just fine. So I'll turn another one. We'll get this flipped around in the chuck. Yeah, I'll hold it. Nice and true. And I'll hollow it out just a little bit, and I'll put a drill chuck in the tailstock, and we'll drill straight through. So that'll work. I guess, do I want it to be more flat or more concave? Slow it way down for the drill bit. 720. So we'll just go straight on through. Nice and easy. I might make that bigger. Instead of using a screw, here's the other one, by the way, but instead of using a screw, I could just put a bolt, like a machine screw, and bolt it through there, and it'll never come off. That's probably a good idea. I'll go for 1/8 of an inch. If I have to, once I get the screws, I can always put it back on the lathe. That's actually really nice. A little bit of tear out on the back, but that's okay. Yeah. There we are. I will need to, wherever I put that, oh, there it is. I will have to cut a part of that ring off so the metal strap can sit in there just like it did for this. Alright, I've got the pieces completed, and I also cut out a small channel just with a knife for these pieces of metal to go flat up against this. And I've already got one on here, and we'll see how finicky this one is now that I have a camera on me. So this is an M3 bolt. It's just what I had in a box. Yeah, this is going to be an ordeal. There we go. So it's an 1/8 of an inch hole in an M3 bolt. I suppose it doesn't really matter. There we go. Riding around on the four-wheeler and in the truck and stuff like that, these will still come loose. So a little bit of epoxy or Loctite or wood glue. You could put anything on there really to stop that nut from backing off. Same thing on this side. This one's also an M3, but it's shorter. This one's just a little bit thinner than this, but it works. They come together nicely. So at least I get to keep using it instead of throwing something away now.